Hi, welcome to the channel. Today is the fourth day of how to think and dream creatively. Let's start. Try this three-stage program to strengthen your creativity through asking and listening. Number one, encourage others to talk in personal conversation or in group meetings. Draw out people with little urges such as tell me about your experience or what do you think should be done about what do you think is the key point. Encourage others to talk and you win a double barreled victory, or your mind soaks up raw material which you can use to produce creative thought and you win friends. There is no surer way to get people to like you than to encourage them to talk to you. Number two, test your own views in the form of questions. Let other people help you smooth and polish your ideas. Use the what do you think of this suggestion approach. Don't be dogmatic. Don't announce a fresh idea as if it were handed over down on a gold tablet. Do a little informal research first. See how you associates reach to it. If you do, chances are you will end up with a better idea. Number three, concentrate on what the other person says. Listening is more than just keeping your own mouth shut. Listening means letting words said penetrate your mind. So often people pretend to listen when they aren't listening at all. They are just waiting for the other person to pause so they can take over with the talking. Concentrate on what the other person says, evaluate it. That's how you collect mind food. More and more leading universities are offering advanced management training program for senior business executive. According to the sponsors, the big benefit of these programs is not that the executives get ready-made formulae which they can use to operate their business more efficiently. Rather, they benefit most from the opportunity to exchange and discuss new ideas. Many of these programs require the executive to live together in college dormitories, thus encouraging bull session. Boiled down to one word, the executive benefit most from the stimulation received. A year ago, I directed two sessions in a 1 week sales management school in Atlanta sponsored by the National Sales Executives Incorporation. A few weeks later, I met a salesman friend who worked for one of the sales executive who had attended the school. You people at the school sure gave me sales manager a lot of things to do to run our company better, my young friend said. Curious, I asked him specifically what changes he had noticed. He reeled off a number of things: a revision in the compensation plan, sales meeting twice a month instead of once a month, new business cards and stationery, a revision in sales territories, not one of which was specifically recommended in the training program. The sales manager did not get a bunch of canned techniques. Instead, he got something much more valuable, the stimulation to think of ideas directly beneficial to his own particular organization. A young accountant for a paint manufacturer told me about a very successful venture of his that was sparked by ideas of others. I never had more than a casual interest in real estate, he told me. I have been a professional accountant for several years now and I have stuck pretty close to my profession. One day, a realtor friend invited me to be his guest at a luncheon of one of the city's real estate groups. The speaker that day was an older man who had seen the city grow. His talk was about the next 20 years. He predicted that the metropolitan area would continue to grow far out into the surrounding farmland. He also predicted that there would be a record demand for what he called gentleman size farms, 2 to 5 acres, big enough so the businessman or professional person could have a pool, horse, a garden, and other hobbies that require a space. This man's talk really stimulated me. What he described was exactly what I wanted. The next few days, I asked several friends what they thought about the idea of someday owning a 5 acre estate. Everyone I talked to said, in fact, I would love that. I continue to think about it and to figure how I could turn the idea into profit. Then one day I was driving to work, the answer came out of nowhere. Why not buy a farm and divide it into estates? I figured the land might be worth more in relatively small pieces than in one big piece. 22 miles from the center of the city, I found a worn out 50-acre farm priced at $8,500. I bought it paying only one third down and walking out a mortgage with the owner of for the balance. Next, I planted pine seedlings where there were no trees. I did this because a real estate man whom I feel knows his business told me people want trees these days, lots of trees. I wanted my prospective buyers to see that in a few years their estate would be covered with beautiful pine trees. Then I got a surveyor to divide the 50 acres into 10 5-acre plots. Now I was ready to start selling. I got several mailing lists of young executives in the city and put on a small scale direct mail campaign. I pointed out how for only $3,000, the price of a small city lot, they could buy an estate. I also described the potentials for recreation and wholesome living. In 6 weeks, I'm working only evenings and on weekends. I sold all 10 plots. Total income $30,000. Total cost including the land advertising, surveying, and legal expenses $10,400. Profit $19,600. I made a nice profit because I let myself be exposed to the ideas of other intelligent people. Had I not accepted the invitation to attend a luncheon with a group completely foreign to my occupational interest, my brain would have never worked out this successful plan for making a profit. There are many ways to get mental stimulation, but here are two that you can incorporate into your pattern of life. First, join and meet regularly with at least one professional group that provides stimulation in your own occupational area. Rub soldiers and minds with other success oriented people. So often I hear someone say, I picked up a great idea this noon at the meeting. Or during the meeting, yes, yesterday I got to thinking. Remember, a mind that feeds only on itself is soon undernourished, becoming weak and incapable of creative progressive thought. Stimulation from others is excellent mind food. Second, join and participate in at least one group outside your occupational interests. Association with people who have different job interests broadens your thinking and helps you to see the big picture. You will be surprised how mixing regularly with people outside your occupational area will stimulate your on the job thinking. Ideas are fruits of your thinking, but they have got to be harnessed, and put to work to have value. Each year, an oak tree produces enough acorns to populate a good-sized forest. Yet, from these bushes of seeds, perhaps only one or two acorns will become a tree. The squirrels destroy most of them, and hard ground beneath the tree doesn't give the few remaining seeds much chance for a start. So it is with ideas. Very few bear fruit. Ideas are highly perishable. If we are not on ground, and the squirrels, negative thinking people will destroy most of them. Ideas require special handling from the time they are born until they are transformed into practical ways for doing things better. Use these three ways to harness and develop your ideas. Number one, don't let ideas escape. Write them down. Every day, lots of good ideas are born only to die quickly because they aren't nailed to paper. Memory is a weak slave when it comes to preserving and nurturing brand new ideas. Carry a notebook or some small cards with you. When you get an idea, write it down. A friend who travels a lot keeps a clipboard beside him so that he can write down an idea the instant it occurs to him. People with fertile creative mind know a good idea may sprout anytime, any place. Don't let ideas escape, else you will destroy the fruits of your thinking. Fence them in. Number two, next review your ideas. File these ideas in an active file. The file can be elaborate cabinet, or it can be a desk drawer. A shoebox will do. But build a file and then examine your storehouse of ideas regularly. As you go over your ideas, some may, for very good reasons, have no value at all. Get rid of them, but so long as the idea has any promise, keep it. Number three, cultivate and fertilize your idea. Now, make your idea grow. Think about it. Tie the idea to related ideas. Read anything you can find which is in any way akin to your idea. Investigate all angles. Then, when the time is ripe, put it to work for yourself, your job, your future. When an architect gets an idea for a new building, he makes a preliminary drawing. When a creative advertising person gets an idea for a new TV commercial, he puts it into storyboard form, a series of drawings that suggest what the idea will look like in finished form. Writers with ideas prepare a first draft. Note, shape up the idea on paper. There are two excellent reasons for this. When the idea takes a tangible form, you can literally look at it, see the loopholes, see what it needs in the way of polish. Then two ideas have to be sold to someone: customers, employees, the boss, friends, fellow club members, investors. Somebody must buy the ideas, else it has no value. One summer, I was contacted by two life insurance salesmen. Both wanted to work on my insurance program. Both promised to return with a plan for making the needed changes. The first salesman gave me strictly an oral presentation. He told me in words what I needed, but I soon was confused. He brought in taxes, options, social security, all the technical details of insurance programming. Frankly, he lost me and I had to say no. The second salesman used a different approach. He had jotted his recommendations. All the details were shown in diagram form. I could grasp his proposal easily and quickly because I could literally see it, he told me. He sold me. Resolve to put your ideas in sellable form. An idea written or in some sort of picture or diagram from form has many times more selling power than the idea presented only in oral form. In summation, use these tools and think creatively. Number one, believe it can be done. When you believe something can be done, young mind will find the ways to do it. Believing a solution perhaps the way to solution. Eliminate impossible, won't work, can't do. No use trying from your thinking and speaking vocabularies. Number two, don't let tradition paralyze your mind. Be receptive to new ideas, be experimental, try new approach, be progressive in everything you do. Number three, ask yourself daily, how can I do better? There is no limit to self-improvement. When you ask yourself, how can I do better? Sound answers will appear. Try it and see. Number four, ask yourself, how can I do more? Capacity is a state of mind. Asking yourself this question puts your mind to work to find intelligent shortcuts. The success combination in business is do what you do better, improve the quality of your output, and do more of what you do, increase the quantity of your output. Practice asking and listening. Ask and listen, and you will obtain raw material for reaching sound decisions. Remember, big people monopolize the listening, small people monopolize the talking. Stretch your mind, get stimulated, associate with people who can help you to think of new ideas, new ways of doing things. Mix with people of different occupational and social interests. Now it's end of the fifth chapter. We will start sixth chapter in the next session. Thank you so much. If you are new on this channel, subscribe this channel and press bell icon so that the new video upload you will get notification first. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much.